There's something about you that terrifies people, and it has nothing to do with your appearance, your success, or your voice. It's your truth, your energy, your awakening. They fear it more than darkness, more than chaos, because your truth does what no evil can. It exposes, it reveals, it awakens. You've felt it, haven't you? The way certain people get uncomfortable around you. The fake smiles, the sudden distance, the way conversations shift when you speak with conviction. They don't know how to label it, but they feel it. You are the mirror that reflects everything they try to hide. And that mirror, it's blinding to the ones who've lived too long in the dark. Let me make this clear. When you awaken, you become dangerous, not to good people, but to the lies that good people have been living in. You threaten the masks, the roles, the systems. You shake up the false comfort zones. You interrupt the sleep. The world fears awakened souls because they can't be manipulated. They can't be controlled. They can't be silenced. And that's why they come for you. Not because you're weak, but because your strength is real. You've awakened from the dream they're still trapped in, and that threatens the illusion they're addicted to. This is why the attack started. Not when you were silent, not when you played small, but when you started speaking, living, standing, glowing. They didn't fear your noise. They feared your presence. You carry a light that doesn't just shine, it reveals. And in a world where lies are currency, truth is rebellion. And you, chosen one, are the rebel with a divine cause. Let's go deeper. This awakening, it didn't come easy. It came through pain, through loss, through silence. You were torn away from the crowd, isolated, broken down to your foundation. And in that wilderness, your soul remembered who it really is. That remembering, that was the beginning of the shift. You started seeing through people, through systems, through smiles. You started recognizing the energy behind the words. You couldn't play the game anymore. And that's when it began, the Civil War. People started distancing themselves. Opportunities vanished. Gossip rose. You were labeled too much, too intense, too spiritual. But what they really meant was, you're too awake for our comfort. Because when someone is living in illusion, your clarity feels like chaos. Your freedom feels like rebellion. Your light feels like a threat. And that's why they fear your truth more than evil. Evil blends in. Evil hides behind charm, religion, performance. But truth, it can't be faked. It can't be bought. It doesn't negotiate. It just is. You are not here to be liked. You're here to be light. Chosen ones aren't just spiritually aware. They're system disruptors. You weren't born to maintain the status quo. You were born to break it. And every time you speak your truth, you send shockwaves into the collective lie. But here's what most don't realize. Truth doesn't need to be shouted. Your energy alone reveals the counterfeit. This is why people lie to your face even when they know you already know the truth. This is why they avoid deep conversations with you, because on some soul level, they know you can see them. And that scares them more than any devil ever could. You've become a walking awakening. Your vibe says, I see you. I see beyond the mask. I see what you don't want anyone to see. And for some, that's healing. For others, it's horrifying. The awakening has begun, and you're not here by accident. You're a signal in a sea of noise. You're a lighthouse in a storm of confusion. And your mission is simple: stay awake. No matter how loud the world tells you to go back to sleep. You'll be tempted. You'll be shamed. You'll be offered comfort in exchange for silence. But you didn't survive all that darkness just to dim now. You rose from the ashes not to blend in, but to blaze. You are the storm that clears the air, the fire that purifies, the truth that sets captives free. And when you move, the atmosphere shifts. Not because of your words, but because of your frequency. They don't just fear your truth, they fear what it activates in others. Because once you awaken someone, They can't unsee what they've seen. They can't unhear your voice in their soul. You become the turning point, the beginning of someone else's revolution. And that's dangerous. Not to God, not to light, but to the empire of illusion that's been running this world. You were born into this time because the false world is crumbling. And as it collapses, truth bearers are rising. Quietly, powerfully, unapologetically. And you're one of them. Don't water it down. Don't explain yourself. Don't try to fit into what you were sent to break. You are not too much. You are finally enough for your own destiny. This isn't the end. It's the unveiling. This is the start of the Great Awakening. And you, chosen one, are a sacred part of it. So what happens now? Now that you know you're not crazy, not broken, not cursed, but chosen, you move differently. You speak with purpose. You guard your energy like gold. Because now, you realize your truth isn't just yours. It's a weapon of light in a war most people can't even see. They've been programmed to stay asleep, conditioned to follow the rules of a broken world, trained to silence their soul for acceptance. And here you come, disrupting it all just by being real. You were never meant to blend in. That's why it's always felt like you didn't belong. Because you don't belong to the system. You belong to something much higher. A divine assignment that calls you out of the herd and into the fire. And yes, it's lonely sometimes. Yes, the attacks get fierce. Yes, your heart may ache when people turn on you. But remember this. Every single chosen one walks through rejection before they walk in power. That's not punishment. That's purification. You were removed from crowds so you could hear your calling. You were stripped of fake connections so you could attract real ones. You were emptied so you could be filled with truth. And truth, chosen one, is what this world fears most. It fears the ones who can't be bought, the ones who can't be silenced, the ones who don't chase clout or praise or approval, the ones who walk with God, not with gossip, the ones who glow from within, not because of status, but because of surrender. They fear you because you don't play their game. You don't compete. You don't fake. You don't need the spotlight. And yet somehow, you are the light. And light exposes darkness. So darkness tries to smear you, lie about you, turn people against you. It's not personal. It's spiritual. The moment you stopped shrinking to fit in, you became a threat to the matrix. Because now, you activate others. You remind people of what they gave up on, of who they used to be, of what they buried just to be accepted. And that reminder, that reflection, it burns. So they label you, misunderstand you, walk away from you. But in their soul, they remember you. You awaken the part of them they try to silence. You see, truth doesn't always make people love you. Sometimes it makes them leave. But that's not your burden to carry. You were sent to awaken, not to appease. And guess what? The awakening has only just begun. This is not a trend. It's not a phase. This is the divine reclaiming what the world distorted. Souls rising. Minds breaking free. Spirits returning home. And you, yes, you, are a torchbearer in this revolution. You don't need permission. You are the permission. You don't need a platform. Your energy is the platform. You don't need everyone to get it. The right ones already feel it. So when they mock you, let them. When they doubt you, bless them. When they turn away, thank them. Because all it's doing is proving what your spirit already knew. They fear your truth more than any lie they've ever told. Why? Because truth doesn't negotiate. It doesn't ask for validation. It doesn't wait for applause. It doesn't need to be explained. Truth just is. And when you embody it fully, when you walk, speak, breathe, and live in alignment, your mere existence becomes a spiritual frequency that disrupts every false foundation. That's why you've been under attack. That's why the enemy worked so hard to make you question your voice, your light, your worth, because it knew If you ever woke up to who you really are, nothing would be the same. And now, you're awake. And the world is shifting because of you. So hold your ground, chosen one. Don't dim, don't doubt, don't retreat. Stand. Your ancestors are cheering you on. The divine is backing you up. And the ones meant to walk with you, they are being drawn to you right now. Quietly, powerfully, without force, just alignment. This is the rise of the real. This is the death of illusion. This is the hour when the masks fall and the chosen ones speak. You are not here to fit in. You are here to set free. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be legendary. So walk into rooms like you were sent, because you were. And when they whisper, "Who does she think she is?" let your spirit roar. I am the truth you feared, the light you couldn't kill, the awakening that's only just begun. The time is now. The world is watching. And your truth, it's about to shake the earth.